Your endurance is the evidence of your salvation. That's where we ended last time when we looked at the first half of 2 Timothy 2:12. God gives us the power and strength to keep going. And that section of the verse said that if we endure, we will also reign with Christ. And what a wonderful promise we have. And we need that promise because living a life for Christ in these times is extremely difficult. So we need the encouragement that God will give us the strength that we need to keep going. But I want to read for you the second half of 2 Timothy 2:12 and verse 13 and see that Paul also here poses the opposite reality. Listen to this verse. If we deny him, he will also deny us. If we are faithless, he remains faithful, for he cannot deny himself. So, as encouraging as the first half of verse 12 is, the second half is scary. Christ will deny us. I don't want Christ to deny me. Can you imagine Christ saying, "No, I'm sorry. I don't know who you are. You're not part of my family." That's what Paul is saying. Now, let me clarify this for us. Just as our endurance proves our salvation and proves that we belong to Christ, our denial of him would prove that we never did belong to Christ. A person who fails to endure will deny Christ because he was never truly a Christ follower. Now, I know that somebody could hear me say this and say, well, what about Peter? He denied Christ 3 times, and then, a few weeks later, he preached a message and 3,000 people got saved. Well, we're certainly not saying here that there will never be a time in our lives when our faith wavers, when we doubt, when we perhaps even wonder if we belong to God. That happens. That's what happened to Peter, and it happens to us. It's happened to me before as well. And so we are not perfect and we are not perfectly consistent. But what Paul is talking about here is a final and ultimate denial of Jesus Christ. He's not talking about a temporary struggle or doubt or fear or anything like that. Just as endurance is the evidence of salvation, denial is the evidence of lostness. And no matter what, Paul says, Christ will remain faithful. Christ will always be faithful to give his children, the people who belong to him, the power to endure. And he will always be faithful to judge the lost for their ultimate denial of him. They will be denied. So what does that mean for us? Well, my friends, be sure of your salvation. Examine your heart, confirm your standing with Christ, and ask him to reassure your heart. Trust that he will do what he says, and he will always be faithful to you, even in those days when you might waver.